Is water wet? Question mark?
Maybe.
Yeah, no.
No,
Well,
I don't
water is
know.
why? Why
not.
don't you think water's wet?
Wet.
Why don't you think
It's wet.
I mean, it
Water's
is
not
wet.
wet.
It is
No,
wet. What do you
no,
mean?
it's not. No, it's
Then
not.
what is wet? Then what is wet in the world?
No,
Like,
if
what?
it's wet,
Water
you could
isn't
dry
wet.
it. If it's
Water itself isn't wet. What water makes
water
things
gets
wet.
wet.
It
Yes,
makes
water
other
wet.
things
gets-
No,
wet.
it gets
Like-
stuff wet. It
It
gets stuff wet.
yes.
That doesn't mean
Yeah.
it's wet.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean
No.
it's
Oh,
wet.
that's
It's water
Yeah.
itself is
That also doesn't mean it's not wet.
well,
No,
no,
but
because
I
it's
think-
not wet. Because
Okay. The definition of water being wet is like if it can be dried, correct?
Yeah.
Like
can
if
water
it could
be dry?
No, it's
It can be absorbed.
It could be
but it
absorbed.
It's
can't
yeah,
still
be
not
dried.
being dried.
You could use
That
a
means it's
towel to dry
wetting
water.
something.
Maybe would that work? Would
No,
that
but
count
that's
as
still
dry?
wetting the towel.
But the
That's
towel,
wetting the towel.
the towel just absorbs it.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
towel
that's
absorbs
wetting the
the
towel.
water.
But it does dry it. It dries it. You know, it dries the water.
But that's wetting the towel.
Correct.
So it's
I
technically
guess.
wetting something, not
But the water.
Drying.
But then it's still like drying the water. So with your definition, water would be wet.
Well, no, the water's
The
still
towel
there.
removes the water from there.
Yeah, it removes the water from that certain spot. It's still alive. It's not dried. It's still in the towel.
Well, yeah, but it can dry.
Well, yeah, it could dry out.
Oh yes.
It's not gonna
What
be
about
dry.
evaporation?
Yeah,
It
but
dries
that's
the
that's a
water.
whole different thing. That's
But it's
turning it
still
into
water.
gas.
But it's still
That's turning
water.
it into gas.
But it still evaporates it. It dries the water.
Well-
Isn't that how it turns into gas?
And that's how rain comes in.
Yes, Jason. Thank you. We know about the water
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah, I did something.
wow.
Wow.
Yeah. No, water's okay. I still say water's not.
Yeah, I don't
I
think
was-
water's wet personally. I just don't think.
I don't think
you're-
water is wet. It's just like there's
Completely
different
wet.
ways of
Water
seeing
is
it.
Considering that
completely
water
wet.
needs a lot more water, like needs a lot more volume to stay like not dry. Technically, it could mean that water needs to be wet, right?
Yes.
Well,
What
no,
do you mean by
okay,
that? Like, what do you
let's
mean by
search
that? I
up-
didn't really
okay.
understand that.
Yeah, what do you mean?
Yeah.
Like
Water
water
is-
needs
okay,
more
water-
water to not dry out.
Okay, here.
Therefore-
Correct.
The definition of
Correct.
Therefore,
wet.
meaning that water is wet.
No.
You've got a
Yes.
point, but I still don't think water's wet because it makes other things.
Okay, here.
Water
Here.
itself
The
isn't
definition
wet.
of wet is covered or saturated with water
Did
or
you
another
just
liquid.
Google that?
Maybe.
I thought-
Okay,
I thought we were
no.
gonna do all this
The
from
definition
scratch.
of wet is covered or saturated. Water cannot be covered or saturated with more water. It will just become water and
Well,
become
That's
one.
why.
Well, yes.
That's why.
That's what the ocean
So-
is.
So water can't technically get wet.
It could wet things,
But it could wet
cannot
things,
But
yeah.
it's getting
wet.
but it's getting wet by the water.
That's still not
No.
wet because it is water.
That's why.
Correct.
Okay, well, let's see.
Correct.
How about this? Let's say wet is an action. We get wet by water, but we cannot wet water.
Correct.
Wait, here's another question. Is ice wet?
Well, no, it's
It's-
actually pretty
Yes.
dry.
Made of
I
water.
think
No,
it
I
is.
say ice is
Ice
wet. I say
is
ice
I
is
think
wet. 'cause
ice.
ice
I think ice is wet because like ice is like frozen water, but like when it starts melting, it does get wet. You know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because that's
It wets-
obviously
it wets
saturated
the
in it.
surface. If
Yeah, it wets the
melts-
surface of it.
Yeah.
Okay, here's the thing. Water cannot be wet. I say water's not wet. I say ice is
Yeah,
wet.
Yeah, water isn't wet, but ice is wet. Yeah.
Water isn't wet, but ice
If-
is.
Correct.
If water cannot be
So
wet, then it
ice,
can't. then
ice
it's
is
not
ice.
wet.
Correct.
Correct.
Right.
Yes. Can I ship dry ice through UPS?
I don't know.
Can you?
I don't know. Search it up right
I
now.
think-
Are you not allowed to ship liquids? I don't know. I don't do any. I don't.
I'm
I
pretty
don't.
sure you
I don't
could.
send anything.
I'm pretty sure some UPS vans have like some freezer in them built in. So
I
they won't,
really
like,
doubt
I,
it.
I,
I
I
doubt
do
it.
think they would do that though.
No,
that makes
Amazon
sense.
Amazon vans do because some of them deliver food.
But I think also
Amazon.
UPS, bro. Come on.
I doubt it.
What
Maybe the
about
newer
eBay?
version of-
UPS
What about
I
eBay?
doubt
UPS
eBay. I doubt
Yeah, but
eBay doesn't
UPS
have their own
basically
thing.
destroys everything that they
Yeah,
send to
eBay
everybody,
doesn't.
so
Yeah, that's true. They destroyed a lot of things for me.
yeah, I'm pretty sure the freezer
Yep.
will be destroyed in like about a day.
The freezer.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah, but back to the subject, about like ice
Water is
being
still not
wet.
wet. Okay, ice is
We
wet, but
already
like
cut that question.
And then what about like is like
That was fun.
is gas considered wet? Like certain gases or is gas
mm,
Yeah,
wet?
I would say
no,
so.
no. What gas cannot be wet
I
because
would.
it physically
What
cannot
about
be.
mist? What about mist?
Yeah, what about
What about
mist?
mist?
Yeah, mist. Yeah,
Oh
he's
Yeah,
got a
what
good
about
point.
mist?
Yeah,
no, no.
that's what
Mist
I'm
is just
saying.
tiny droplets of water in the air.
But
So
it's
That's
still
what.
a type
no,
of gas,
That's
no?
why.
yeah, no, it's not.
Yeah.
Mist is not gas. Mist is not gas.
It
It's
is a gas. What are
Yeah,
you
no.
mist
Mist is
talking
isn't
just a
about?
gas,
form of
but
water being in the sky.
still.
Gas as water, gas as
What about like
evaporation
boiling
from
water,
water.
like the gas that comes
Yeah,
out? What
gas
about
is
boiling
basically
water?
That's
evaporated water.
gas.
Yeah.
So it's a
But is it
gas.
wet?
No, because it's just. Oh wait, actually,
Yeah, trying
It
to think.
is.
Another
It is
it
point.
wet.
it can be. No, it can't be wet though, because you cannot wet it, because it would just disappear.
Well, that's
Or
true.
would it
That's true.
mix with
That's
the
true.
water? Would it
That
mix with the
yeah.
water?
Point.
Would it
Well,
mix
like,
with the water?
What about like other liquids? Are other liquids wet?
I don't think
Well,
so.
Like not
because
just
the
Yeah,
water,
water
like
yeah.
no, just water.
like milk or juice, are those considered wet?
No, they're not
Yeah.
wet.
No,
They're the
I
same
They have to
thing.
be.
No,
They're
they're
liquids
the
though.
they're
If
the
you
same
if
thing
you
as
But
say
water.
does what is
if
it
you say
only
that
water that
water
makes
if you
other
say
things
that water
wet?
makes things wet.
Wait,
If you
wait,
say
Yeah, but
water
guys,
makes
guys.
things
if you
wet, then
pour water
everything
in
else
orange
is
juice,
considered.
does it make it wet?
no, but Coke is dry. If you drop Coke, it'll dry out. So that basically
Like
Oh
water.
What do you
yeah.
Coke is
mean by
wet.
that?
Like
Oh,
It
water.
is
That's because of
dry.
the acid.
Juice
Wait,
also
no,
Yeah,
does
that's
guys.
why.
Juice
If
It's
also
so,
does
dry.
you
that.
know how soda has air bubbles in it, right? Because of the gas.
Yes.
Yes, yes, correct.
That
Yeah.
means can it be wet? Because water can technically sit on top of the gas bubbles. So can it be wet?
No.
Can soda be wet?
Maybe, but wouldn't that like help? Because if the gas bubbles are wet, wouldn't that mean the gas is wet? So yeah, gas can be wet, no?
Yeah, I mean, it has to be obviously on surface, and it has to be
But
big enough to.
but it doesn't like seep into to something and then it dries. It just stays on there and it dries out and it leaves
That's
like
why
something
it's
a sticky
surrounding it.
residue.
It's surrounding it. It's not. It, no,
Yeah.
yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Can other liquids get wet? Like
No,
I
I
mean,
feel like.
yeah.
I mean, it depends.
if
No,
water
no, no,
makes
no.
things wet, can you like pour water in
Wait, guys,
that be wet?
big brain question. Can oil be wet since oil does not mix with water?
No,
I
Can
feel like
oil
oil
be
can be
wet?
wet.
Oil
Yeah.
can be dried through cooking.
That is true.
Yeah,
Oil
I
can
know.
be dried.
But can it
Oil
be
can
wet?
dry.
Well, yeah,
Because
oil.
water
I don't
and
think.
oil do not mix.
I don't think oils like
They
Yeah,
don't
they don't.
mix.
because oil
They
is
always sit in clumps. They don't
oil.
mix.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure oil
So yeah,
isn't like
they
completely
technically
liquid.
get surrounded by water and they could dry out. So I feel like oil can be wet.
I mean, maybe.
So water itself cannot be wet. Ice can be wet. Gas can be wet. Oil can be wet. What other liquids could be wet?
Man.
Mm,
I don't know,
the
man.
vinegar? Could vinegar?
No, vinegar mixes with water.
I don't know. I
Pee.
don't cook. I don't cook.
Pee can be wet.
I don't know.
Pee, you know.
Peat? No, what? No, it mixes with water, man.
Are bubbles wet?
Shut the hell up.
Are bubbles? That's a good question. Yeah, are bubbles wet?
Wait, actually. Well, no, wait.
Isn't
No,
aren't
wait,
bubbles like
that means air can be wet, because technically the bubble solution is water, which makes a bubble. So water is
Correct.
surrounding air.
correct?
Water is surrounding air in a bubble. So that means that gas could be wet because it's technically surrounding the air.
Yeah.
But like the air isn't affected.
Yeah.
I don't think.
No, it's not affected, but it's carrying. No, because air.
Would that count as making
gas
it wet?
inside. I don't know. Or is it just trapped in water? Which
Yeah, but what
could
about the
technically be
bubble?
wet.
Going back to the bubble question, is the bubble wet?
Right.
No, I don't.
It's-
No, well, the
I don't
bubble
think
is
it's-
water,
no.
so. Because, no, the bubble is just the water around the air inside. The bubble's not actually the air inside. Right?
The bubbles mixed with water
I
and
guess
soap.
so.
So it
Well,
cannot
not
be
always
wet.
soap.
The bubble, yeah, the
So,
bubble
No,
is
Yeah,
like
wait.
yeah, that's
water
true.
and
Not
soap.
not always so.
Well,
Well, usually it's soap.
wait,
So.
what happens if I drink bleach?
What the
You
hell?
You
die.
die. You die.
Yeah,
Funny thing, what
basically.
Wait, can
happens?
bleach be wet? Yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they
No,
can
wet
no,
bleach
stuff,
can
so
it.
yeah.
it?
no,
Yeah.
no. Bleach
Can.
can't be wet because it mixes with water very well.
So
Oh,
if it
that's
mixes
true.
with
That's true.
water, it
Good point.
can't be wet.
Yeah.
I think maybe.
Like where does it like cross the line? What's like
So
the
Like
criteria?
oil, like oil
water
or
What is that?
gasoline
What's like
an
the
ingredient
criteria?
to
Oil.
bleach. So
that doesn't mix with water, like at all, like
Like
oil or like
what about like soap?
frying
What about
oil.
like soap?
Soap mixes with wait, it makes
Yeah, it makes
wait.
bubbles. Yeah, what about like the soap?
Yeah, no, but it mixes with the water and then it makes
Shampoo. What
bubbles.
about shampoo?
It mixes with the water.
So is it wet?
But it mixes. So
But is it
what would
still
be
wet?
what would
Because
be
like
a
for,
mixture? If
yeah, what like a drink,
what would a mixture be
like
considered?
lemonade or something? If they
No,
mix
like
together.
like you said, shampoo and water. What
Yeah, they
would
make
that
like
be?
bubbles. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, but what would that be?
I don't know. Is it wet? No, that's the big question.
Soap and water can also make foam. Like,
That is
That
bubbles,
is,
Jason. That's
yes,
just a lot of
correct.
bubbles
Yeah,
crumbled
but
up.
that's just a lot of
sorry, I'm
bubbles.
sorry.
That's just
but
big
is tar
chunk.
also wet? Tar.
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 Wait. Well,
Yeah,
Tar
you
is
know that
not
black
Like
yeah,
stuff?
yeah. We know what tar
yeah, I
is.
know, I
Like
know what tar
like
is.
asphalt.
So can tar get wet?
No,
It can be
tar.
dry. It can be dried. That's
Yeah,
that word I
Yeah,
it's
know.
it
not.
can
That's
make
yeah,
it can
It
make
can
yeah.
be
It
like
can be
dried.
little jerky. It can probably make like jerky or something like that.
But when combined with more tar, the more tar there is, it becomes like wet. It doesn't like
No,
you
Yeah.
in
the
in order
surface of
for
it is
tar
wet. The
to
surface
dry,
of it is wet.
you need to put it on
No,
like
because
something that's already solid.
you technically can't test if something is wet inside because if you poke a hole inside of let's say tar, you stick your hole in there. That's technically the surface all around your finger. That's technically the surface. So you can't really test if it's inside of it. So I don't know how it would work
So I
because you
guess what?
technically can't see inside of it because you're technically
So like,
making
do we all?
surface.
So like, did we just come to an agreement that water isn't wet, but like other
Yeah,
things
Yeah,
can be
water
wet?
is
Okay.
yeah.
not wet.
I still think water.
Yeah.
Wait,
Do you so you
Okay,
still think water's
who
wet?
thinks water is wet?
I do.
No,
Water is wet.
wait, should I search it up?
No.
No, that's the whole point of us having this discussion.
We can switch it up after.
We can switch it up after. I just cut this part out.
All right, do like a little team score, like who thinks water is wet, and
Yeah, who thinks
water
water's
makes
wet?
things wet.
Okay, yeah, who thinks water is wet?
Not
I
Me.
do. I do.
Just Rob.
I
Is
think
I
Rob the
water
only
is
one?
wet.
I think Rob's the only one.
I think so.
You think
Okay,
water's wet?
Rob and Renest.
All right.
Okay,
And
Rob,
now-
Renest, and Yosh. Rob, Renest,
So
and
you
Yosh.
guys,
I don't think water's
that
wet.
water
I don't think water's
Oh, you
wet.
don't
makes
think water's
things
wet?
Okay, okay, so
So you guys
Yosh
think that water
and Rob,
makes things
Yosh and
wet?
Rob, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys
Okay.
think water makes
And then the
things
rest
wet.
of us.
So then
I
the
don't
rest
think
of us, so me, Jason, Xcan, and Renest, we all think that water isn't wet.
Yep.
Correct.
Wait, what about the molecules of the water?
Well, see, that's
Are they
something
wet?
completely different.
Yeah,
That's true.
because
That's true.
wait, would the molecules of water be wet?
We don't know that.
Because they're surrounded by each other, which is
Yeah, that's
water.
Find
Would they
out
be
next time.
On the next episode of